Are you worried about life after lockdown? In this conversation, I'm going to share 5 strategies to help you prepare for the new normal. Hi, I'm Dr. Geneva, the vibrant life architect and host of the Ignite to Impact podcast. I'm delighted to be here with you. Hello. I'm grateful to be here live, and also I want to say hello to you all on the replay. Now, so many people have come to me, especially executives and entrepreneurs, and they've shared with me their concerns about what's next. Now that we're returning to work, returning to school, going back to businesses, whatever it might be, just life in general, we're going back. And I had recently a really awesome conversation with my girlfriends, some of whom are mental health experts, some work in the field of makeup and beauty, some are business executives and corporate leaders, some work in the community every day to bring incredible impact. And we chatted about really looking back to move forward. So the looking back part has to do with really reflecting on what's happened to us in 2020 and really taking time to take a deep breath and look at that and think about that, but really focus on looking forward as what really counts in terms of making a difference. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today, those insights and those lessons and those strategies. But first, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a late life entrepreneur. After a 40-year career, successful career now, as a nonprofit leader, leading many nonprofit organizations, including the United Way, helping communities and organizations transform, see their dream, create better neighborhoods and communities, and raising hundreds of millions of dollars for pressing community social needs. I decided, after all that now, 40 years doing that, I decided to switch and go into the world of entrepreneurship. I wanted to get my message out to more and have a different platform that I controlled. And so I was excited. But 2 months after I hung out my shingle, my husband of 40 years, got his first cancer diagnosis. And then followed a series of family and personal events that really led to 5 years of grief and tragedy and me losing the people who had been with me always in my life. I was totally lost. I, didn't know what to do. I was in this deep, dark fog every day. I'm sure many of you have had situation and circumstances where you feel that, hey, can't nothing get worse than this? Nothing can, take away the pain and the grief. And that's where I was. And I had just tried to start this business. So I struggled every day. And then one night, in fact, when I was on my knees and crying, and this had really become almost a nightly ritual for me, I noticed that I was looking at the obituaries of these people that I loved the most, my mom, my dad, my husband, who had all died within this very short amount of time. And what I noticed was that there was this horizontal stroke that they had, and we all have, when we talk about our lives, it's that time that we're born, that time between when we're born and when we die. It's that dash. And what I realized on this night that I looked at these obituaries of the people that I loved was that what happens in that dash is where life occurs. And that the meaning of who we are and what we do and what we want to do and the legacy we want to leave is right there in that dash. So it's about that meaning, that life. And I, at that aha moment, decided to recommit myself to making my life mean something. Well, that was the first step. Then I had to go through a whole process of reinvention, getting back up off my knees, finding a way to matter, to find purpose, to reimagine and reinvent myself so that instead of seeing doom and gloom and grief, I could see a life of endless possibilities. I, in fact, could find a way to jump out of bed every day with a game plan, with happiness, with joy. Now, it took a long time for me to get there, but I did. And so today, I'm an author. I'm a podcaster. The National Association of Women Business Owners has recognized me as one of the top 10 Michigan businesswomen. So I have, found a way to make it back. And so now my mission in my later life that I'm in is to help entrepreneurs and executives find those success strategies that work. And that's what I'm talking about, things that work. I like to bring that old school wisdom that works for today. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's why I'm here with you. And one of the things I want to share are these insights and these strategies for, making it in the new normal, coping, making it, becoming better at, because that's what we want to do, become better at whatever it is we're doing, just a touch more. We want to be better at it. So let's let me share with you these 5 strategies. And I would love to hear in the comments what you have discovered will work or you're planning to use to work for you in the new normal. So the first thing I want to share is, pat yourself on the back. That's the first strategy. We have gone through what I call the triple whammy. This pandemic seems like it will never end. It came out of the blue, and none of us have been here before. No one. So that's why particularly I want you to think, as you're thinking about this new normal and stepping into it, I want you to take a moment to give yourself credit for how you've come to this point, because you're here and you deserve some credit for that. So take a deep breath and take all that in. Number 2 insight that I wanted to share with you, and please, if you have strategies and tips that work, put it on in the comments because I'd love to hear for it. But the second strategy is make the right moves. Now, you may say to me, well, Dr. Geneva, what you talking about in terms of my career or my business or how I, react and relate to my spouse or what I do with my children? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is moving your body. Exercise is not enough, though it's good now. Now, don't get me wrong. That exercise is good, and each one of us should have a regular exercise program that we do 3 to 5 times a week. That's what we need to do. I know I've been doing that for all of my life. And so that's very important. But what I'm talking about now is moving your body. You know, our bodies were not meant to be sedentary, to just sit there. We, in fact, were made to move. And it's amazing how little we move, how much we sit on a couch or sit in conversations or what have you, but that sit in an office, sit in a desk. But we need to move. We need to find ways to, not sit more than 30 minutes in one place. Okay. So moving and grooving is another success strategy. I get into this whole conversation really deep with my personal trainer in one of my podcasts that I do. So you should go check me out at one of my Ignite to Impact podcasts that I do with my trainer, who gives some phenomenal tips for, how to stick with your exercise routine and how to move your body. And so the third piece, and thank you, Gary. How you doing? Oh, Gary Dent. Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you very much for saying good points. How you doing? And I hope things are going well with you. The third strategy I'd like to drop on you, and this I must admit is my favorite. Anybody who knows me is going to say, well, Dr. Geneva going to tell you this, and that is to make a plan. I believe one of the best success strategies is to have your own personal action plan, a plan with your vision, how you imagine yourself to be, of the goals that are going to get you there to that reality, timelines that help keep you accountable, and accountability is about tracking your success. All of those things that get you this plan, this action, this guide, this blueprint, and allows you to welcome new opportunities and to grow. So I think that's an important success strategy. I just did a series of virtual trainings on how to develop your own personal action plan. I did that for AARP. So you can go to their website. It's the Michigan AARP page, and you can see those trainings. It's good value. It's plenty of good value. I'm dropping on you again that old school wisdom that works for today. The fourth strategy I want to drop on you is to create a routine. Like winging it, it's just not going to get it. I mean, you can, be blasé and spontaneous for, you need to put that in your life. Don't get me wrong, because, I'll jump at something cool at a minute. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part of your life, you need to create a routine, something where you're organized, where you have a system, because a routine can be an anchor for you, particularly in times of uncertainty, so that you have this routine, this structure. And if you had one during pandemic, I love it. I'm glad you did. But you need a new one for the new normal. And thank you, Barbara Jean Patton, about energy. Oh, love you. How are you? Good to see you. I just love doing these lives on LinkedIn. Well, I say doing these lives on LinkedIn. Barbara Jean, this is my first one. So let me just say that. But what I love is connecting with folk, and particularly folk who I've known through the years, but haven't had a chance to see or say hello to. So how you doing? So this routine, I want to make sure you understand that even if you had one during pandemic, it's important for you to create a new one, or at least look at your current routine and then kind of think about the newness you're getting ready to step in and whether or not you need to, create something new, because, coping with unpredictability, because see, we're getting ready to go into a new uncertain time, and that's the new normal, because nothing's going to be like it was before. Okay, that's the real deal. So we are facing something new and different. So that's why you really, really need this new routine. The other thing is why I love a new routine is that it helps you cultivate positive daily habits. And so I love it. And in that respect, I also have put together 52 strategies and tips to kind of lead your own life. So you can go over to my website and get that. And it's a gift. It's free. And, you know, I was trying to be cool. I know y'all heard that ring that happened. Somebody called me. I did not turn over my watch. You know, this is my first live, so I tried to be better next time. So, so what do we do? Number 4, let me check my notes here. Number 5, and again, another one of my favorites. Well, I'm sharing all my goodies, my favorites with you, because that's what I want to do. I want to bring you this value that I've learned through the years. Oh, Barbara Jean. Was that Barbara Patton coming back in again? Yes. Oh, you wouldn't know it was the first. Well, it is. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I want to share, I want to bring this value to you. Listen, so, you know, I'm in the best time of my life, the prime time of my life. And I have learned a lot through my 70 plus years. I really have. And I am dedicated to, my passion is to share this with you. So let me share this fifth strategy that can help prepare you for the new normal. And this, you know, this is an important one. It's the to make sure that you have your self-care toolbox in order. Okay. Now, self-care, by you, for you, to you. Okay. That's what self-care is. It's all about you. It's personal. And it's okay to be selfish with this one. It's all right. You know, because I know some of you that are hearing my voice, you know, put everybody else number 1 on your priority, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your priority to-do list, because many of you are just by nature caring, and particularly women are by nature caring, supportive, nurturing. And that's good. We need to embrace that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's our God-given, or whatever higher faith you believe in. That's our spirit. That's our purpose. It's okay. But you know, it doesn't have to be an either or proposition. It could be both and. You can nurture and care and support others and make yourself a priority. You can do that. So I want to make sure that you have, as we prepare for the new normal, that your self-care toolbox is in order. So that means, and you know, when we talk about self-care, don't just think we talk about, you know, taking yourself for a massage, though that's good. Now do that. Okay, that's a good one. But there's different types of self-care: spiritual, emotional, psychological, mental. And so there are different aspects of self-care. So think about these different areas of self-care and plan activities, okay, that, you know, will get you to your self-care. You know, things like learning how to say no is a self-care strategy, just as much as going to get your nails done or your hair done, get it fixed up, or reading a book, or writing in your journal. All of that is part of a self-care strategy. Diminishing, stopping worry is a self-care strategy. And I talk about, you know, the best strategies for stopping worry in an AARP article that's just been published about why worry, how you can move from panic to peace with 3 techniques. Okay? Because see, we can do this. We can be better at whatever we want to be. And so in this article published by AARP, I talk about the ways that I use to stop my worry. You know, that feeling that you get of unease and in your stomach, and whenever you're getting ready to do something, you know, or worrying about things that really you probably shouldn't worry about. So I give some success strategies there. And then I also put together this ebook that talks about, you know, again, why worry. You know, I'm big on this because one of the things through my career, through my life, I'm a worry wart. Okay, maybe a reformed worry wart, but you know, as when you're fighting any addiction, okay, you don't really leave it totally. You got to work on that every day. So, hi, Cher, how are you? Oh, hey, yes, the various aspects of self-care. Thank you for being here, and how you doing? Now, you need to know Miss Black here, Sierra Black. She is one of the most phenomenal writers that who, you know, she can just put that pen to paper and just help so much with your brand. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for talking about breaking down the aspects of self-care, because so often we think it's just one thing, and it's not. It's several things. And because it's several things, that means that you can put together a whole lot of different activities for those several things. That means that you have no excuse not to do it. So you schedule it, you actually put it on your calendar, and you do it. Well, so that's why I'm here with you today. And I wanted to share with you those success strategies, those strategies for coping with dealing with the new normal, getting ready to step out on in there and deal with it. I hope you'll drop some comments in not only about welcome to you, not only about what you're doing, the things that you've learned to prepare yourself for the new normal, but also what things that you've come up with that work for you. So, so I see we have a question. How did you come up? So Tisha Hammond asks, how did you come up with the hashtag nickname Vibrant Life Architect? Well, I probably came up with it because I believe when I was going through my struggles and trying to find myself and thinking that I would never, ever be me again, that I would never, ever find happiness or joy because of my personal tragedies and griefs. When we all go through these griefs, and I'm sure you feel too, or you felt this sense of hopelessness, lost, being whatever. And when I discovered that, in fact, I could do something about it, and, you know, I said to myself, well, one of the steps was reimagining the life that I wanted to live, because the life that I had before was gone. I mean, it was just gone. The people that I love, my husband of 40 years, is gone. So I had to have a new life. So I had to reimagine that. And so as I was reimagining that, I asked myself, and I was getting older. Well, not getting older. I mean, I was in my late 60s. Okay. And so many people tell you when even you cross into your 50s that you've done, because you turn around and you look and you say you've lived a half a century. And you know, what's left? What can you do? I wasn't, you know, as I thought about it, I said, I'm in my late 60s. What can I do? Am I done now? I didn't want to be invisible. I felt that I wasn't done yet. So as I began to reimagine what my life could be, I said to myself, well, I want to look good, feel good, and I want to do good. I want to look good, not just physically, more so I wanted to rediscover that empowerment, that confidence in me. And I wanted to get it to the point where it would just ooze out of my skin. And in the way I walked and talked, I wanted to get that. I wanted to feel good health-wise. I didn't want to just live long. I wanted to live healthy and vibrant. And I wanted to be balanced and understand that while I give to others, I am my number one priority. And then I wanted to continue my tradition of doing good. That is speaking up, speaking my piece, having my power, giving to others, finding and giving my legacy, finding and giving joy. And I wanted to be able to do that in my 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. And so in doing that and discovering what I wanted to do, I found my purpose in sharing what I had learned about looking good, doing good, and being good, and creating that vibrant life. So now what I do is help people design, that's where the architect part comes in, design their most vibrant life, however you define that. And so that's how it came up. Now, I took a little time to explain that, but because I wanted to get all that in so that you can hear who I am and understand what my purpose is and the value that I'm committed to bringing to you each and every time I have the pleasure of talking with you and we engage. So I think it's time for me to say goodbye now. I want you to drop comments, to let's engage. I'm going to be coming to you live and on replay once a week for the next 4 weeks. Just doctors having doctor's office. But then after that, I want you to know I've been asked to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring to you the Ignite to Impact podcast live. So I've been doing this podcast, and I'll tell you the story about that on another time. But I've been doing this podcast for quite a while. And it's time for me to bring it live and to you. So that's what I'm going to do. And my podcast is really about Ignite to Impact because, see, I believe that each one of us has the gifts and the influence inside of us, and that we can unleash it to impact ourselves and others and make for a better world. So that's why I do. Hi, Tanyan, how are you? Oh, thank you so much for the comment. Thank you. And so I want to bring that live, and really what the Ignite to Impact podcast is I share stories, successes, solutions, strategies about how you can have an extraordinary life. And it's not that you have to search and struggle for it and find it. You already got it in you. It's just about becoming better at something. And I have seen so many folk. I'm an ordinary person who does extraordinary things. And I want to share those strategies. And that's what we do on my podcast. I talk with people. I bring you people who have success stories to share. So I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to see you all later. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me on my very first podcast here with you, my very first live. See ya. Bye-bye.